Hi, this is an explanation for week 7. This week's topics include multicultural education and sociology. You're going to explore the 4 approaches to multicultural education, as well as look at self-esteem and inclusion. I have posted the group work first this week because I want you to make it a priority and complete your group work early in the week. It's still due on the Sunday of the last Sunday of the week when everything else is due, but I just want you to think about working with your group prior to you working independently, or at least getting it started while you're working independently. So I'm going to go to the group discussion first. This is all about being inclusive in your classroom, and what does that mean? So as a group, you're going to incorporate the 6 suggestions to implement the spirit of inclusion. That's on pages 412 through 414 in your textbook. Inclusion also falls under the social, emotional, cultural anchor competencies of creating community and building trusting relationships. And we talked about those in class last week. So use resources, books, activities to support each suggestion. Create either a document, a Web 2.0 tool, an app, a video, or any other creative product of your group's own choosing, which would be disseminated to parents, teachers, and teacher candidates, promoting an inclusive environment. That's what your aim is to let them know that the classroom or the environment in which you are working in is an inclusive environment, and there are 6 suggestions to implement that. So you want to make sure that when you send out this information that any of the stakeholders are well aware that is an inclusive environment and how it has been made to be inclusive. So this inclusive environment would be a safe space for a student, free from bullying, free to be themselves, and to prosper and grow. You're going to post your final product in this Dropbox. You can certainly use this as a discussion, or you can use the discussion component of Ultra Blackboard to have a discussion with your group. And you would find that information, if I go out of here, you'll find how to do that up in this conversation right here. You can click on that and have conversations, or you can have it here in the discussions as well. So either way, there are ways so that you can discuss what you will be working on as individual group members, and then also what your final product will look like, or determined by your group members. That's your group work. Now I'm going to click on the activities and Dropbox for your independent work this week. I do have to show you my little banner here, falling leaves. So you're viewing the video, and you're going to reread the last portion of chapter 13. It's on multicultural education and sociology. It's pages 399 through 414. You read the whole chapter, or at least the first part of the chapter last week, and now you're completing the chapter this week. So the next item involves multicultural education. Explain the following terms: cultural diversity, which you'll find on page 399, ethnicity, which you'll find on page 400, and cultural responsive teaching, which you'll find on page 401, and how each relate to the 4 approaches to multicultural education. That's contribution on page 403, additive on page 404, transformative on page 404, and social action on page 404. So you're going to explain those terms and then share how they relate to the 4 approaches into multicultural education, which I just read off to you. You can see the pages there, and you can follow that in the textbook. You're going to post your response in this Dropbox, most likely in a Word document, but however way you'd like to do that. The last activity for this week is to develop healthy self-esteem. So you're going to view the video, Don't Laugh at Me. This is a video of a children's book with the same title. And then you're going to read about what might be an activity that aligns with this video. Questions would start off by being asked, viewing the video and the book, what were some of the lyrics in the song that made you feel happy? What lyrics made you feel sad? Did you have other feelings while listening? What were they, and what were the lyrics at that time? Let's list the feelings and experiences when you listened to the song. Chart the feelings using a Venn diagram using the headings happy, sad, or both as feelings are identified. Explore a couple of feelings charted. How many of you felt that feeling during that video? When in the song did you feel that feeling? This is an activity that you might create that aligns with this book or this video of the book. And so that's just an example of what I want you to do this week. So I want you to locate a resource on bullying that you would use with students in a classroom. An actual activity, maybe it's a book. It can be a book, it can be a video, it can be any other resource. It might be a game. You may use any of the resources from the social, emotional, cultural anchor competency guide that we used in class. This bullying falls under, this topic bullying falls under social, emotional, cultural anchor competencies of create community, building trusting relationships, and responding constructively across the differences. So if you take a look at your anchor framework here, your anchor competency framework here, you'll find that bullying falls under these. It doesn't actually say bullying, but when you read the teacher moves under each competency, you can see where bullying would fall in. And particularly in building trusting relationships, if you work on building community all year long, beginning in the morning with a morning meeting and being very inclusive, ooh, that word inclusive, and letting your students know each and every one of them means something to you, you will have less bullying than any other classroom. It's when teachers build those relationships with the kids and let them know how important they are to them, that those kids will then begin to develop their self-esteem, because sometimes that's what the problem with a bully is, that they don't have self-esteem, or they're trying to show everybody else that they are tough, or that they do think highly of themselves. And we need to let them know that we do care about them and we want them all the students to work together. So you're going to find one activity, one resource, please make it creative, that you will then post here, and then you'll align your activity with whatever that resource is. You are more than welcome to use the resource guide that we looked at last week in class. You're more than welcome to use that, or anything on the internet. And that takes care of what the expectations are for your work this week. As always, if you have questions, don't hesitate to email me, to ask me, or you can send a conversation through Ultra to me. Please check that you'll send that through the email too, because sometimes I don't remember to check the conversations yet. I'm working on that. It will get better, I promise you. But sometimes I don't do that until I get on Blackboard and realize, oh, I haven't checked in a while, and there are a couple there that I haven't responded to. So I think when you send me one through Ultra Blackboard, you can also check the little box at the bottom that says send it as an email too. And that way I know that I need to respond to you as quickly as I can. Otherwise, have a great week, and I'll see you online.